For the first time in what seems like an entire generation, Sony's PlayStation 5 is legitimately afraid of Xbox. After the Activision Blizzard acquisition, it's obvious that the leadership at Sony is afraid that Xbox will take certain games away from their platform. Not to mention the aggressive competitive nature Xbox is showing this entire generation. Let's get into what this means for the PlayStation, what it means for Xbox as we see the most competitive generation we've ever seen before. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get into this. Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to be notified on future content, hit that small little bell icon. And if you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, hit that join button. All right, enough of that. Let's get right into this pretty amazing story when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox. Now, I do have to admit, I just got back from vacation. I was in Hawaii when the news broke about Xbox buying Activision Blizzard. Let's just say I might have said some bad words out loud when I was out in public after seeing the news on my phone. I got so many messages from everyone all over social media, and trust me, I never wanted to make a video so bad in my life. So I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad I could finally put my thoughts right here in this video, especially when it comes to PlayStation and how this massive acquisition is going to affect them. Because we have to remember, Sony doesn't make all their money from first-party exclusives. No. They make a lot of their money from third-party developers and their microtransactions from those games, not to mention the cut they get from the games that sell on their platform. It's why Sony instantly called Microsoft when they bought Minecraft. They wanted to know if they were going to lose that revenue stream from that game. And it's why they instantly called Phil Spencer from Microsoft about this new acquisition, because they understand Call of Duty is one of their biggest money makers on the PlayStation platform. And this newfound investment from Xbox has a lot of people at Sony afraid for their future, which is something that this article brings up right here. Sony cannot answer the Death Star Microsoft is building for Xbox. Sony's shares dropped sharply yesterday when it was revealed that its biggest competition in the console space, Microsoft, bought Activision Blizzard for nearly $70 billion, potentially harvesting away a large portion of valuable games in the long term like Call of Duty, Overwatch, and Diablo. So if a company's shares drop at 10% doesn't get executives at a company scared, I don't know what will. That equals to about $10 to $20 billion that dropped from Sony. That's an insane amount of money when it comes to investments and Sony in general. Right when Xbox and Activision announced the buyout, everyone knew it was going to affect Sony the most. Not PC gamers, not Xbox gamers, and not even mobile gamers. We all know that Xbox has the most open platform in gaming when it comes to accessibility. Yet Sony wants to believe in generations and also keep their exclusives on the PlayStation console only. At least for now they do. So when they hear that Call of Duty might not be on their platform, you better believe they lost some sleep over that. Not to mention all the Blizzard IPs and the other massive IPs that Activision Blizzard has. And this has gotten Sony fans and people that love PlayStation to really scream from the rooftops that Sony must answer with something, which is something that this article brings up right here. After the sale, there have been many cries from gamers that Sony needs to do something to answer Microsoft with a purchase of their own. But whichever side of the console war you may find yourself on, at this point, with Microsoft gifting blank checks to its Xbox division, these are no longer two entities that are directly comparable. And yet, that doesn't mean Sony is doomed either. And that should not be the takeaway narrative. In fact, presently, their gaming division has never been doing better. It's complicated. And this is where things do get a little funny, because while losing Call of Duty or any of the big Blizzard franchises might scare people, they still need to understand that the PlayStation 5 is selling out like crazy. Both consoles are at an all-time high, to the point where they can't make enough of these things to keep up with the demand. Yet that doesn't mean that people won't start to shift toward Xbox consoles or even PCs to play all of their games that Microsoft will provide them, especially when it comes to first-party exclusive titles that go on Game Pass. Oh, and it's pretty obvious that Sony just can't do the same thing that Microsoft and Xbox could do, which is buying big publishers that shake the foundation of the gaming world and the gaming market, which is brought up right here in direct comparison. To start with, Sony simply cannot make purchases anywhere close to the scale of what Microsoft is doing here. Even before this, Microsoft's $7.5 billion purchase of Bethesda seemed like a massive move that couldn't match. Now, a $70 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard, there is nothing, not a thing Sony can do to make a wave anywhere close to that big. A purchase at that level would have to be something like EA, Ubisoft, or Take-Two, which seems flat out impossible for a company about 7% as big as Microsoft, a $150 billion market cap versus a $2.2 trillion market cap. And a very large middle ground purchase by Sony, say Square Enix, Capcom, From Software, Kojima Productions, still would not match either the Activision Blizzard or Bethesda purchases Microsoft has already made. And this is where things start to come into place and why Sony's PlayStation is truly afraid of what Xbox could do and continue to do. Because for the first time in their history, dating back to even the Xbox 360 era, Sony feels the pressure that Xbox is not taking gaming as a secondhand option anymore. No, Xbox and Microsoft is taking gaming more serious than any other company in the industry. They're not just fighting Sony anymore, they're fighting Tencent, Google, Amazon, and of course Apple. They want to dominate every single aspect they could. Console, PC, cloud, and of course mobile gaming, which they have a massive division now with the Activision purchase. All of these things are planned because Xbox wants to be the premier place to play games. And after Bethesda and after the $70 billion buyout of Blizzard and Activision, they have just that. Yet what's even more terrifying with Sony is now that their Spartacus Game Pass ripoff is dead in the water. They need to put their first-party games day and date into that service to even have a chance to compete with Xbox and Game Pass, which might not be enough at this point, as the article mentions right here. Similarly, I don't think Sony can hope to match Game Pass as an entity either. We know Sony has plans to bolster PlayStation Plus, potentially combining it with PlayStation Now to offer more features in games. But it still seems exceptionally unlikely that Sony will offer its high-profile exclusives on day one, something that is the core tenet of why Game Pass is so attractive. Sony absolutely wants those tens of millions of sales and has effectively doubled down on the idea by raising game prices $10 this generation. They view it as too much of a risk to do what Microsoft has done, and if they did, there would be no going back. And this is the worst thing Sony could do. Not take a risk like Microsoft has. We have to remember Game Pass was a massive risk. Buying Bethesda was a massive risk. And getting Activision Blizzard is the biggest risk we've ever seen in gaming. Sony isn't taking risks this generation. They aren't changing anything. Instead, they're bringing out remasters or director's cuts of games that are already out. They're bringing out sequels, and they're not investing in new infrastructure for their network and gaming platform. It's obvious that Xbox is taking all the risks this generation, and it's paying off big time for them right now. They aren't just bringing out new games, but they're also trying to change the game industry in every aspect. It's as if one company sees the future while the other is trying to hold on to a dying tradition of gaming, something this article mentions again. But there's now, and there's the future. Sony may end up feeling like Blockbuster if Microsoft keeps expanding its Netflix-like Game Pass. And the $70 price point already feels like a backwards move. The cloud is a way to expand access to gaming, in addition to Microsoft putting games day one on PC, also feels natural and like something Sony is resisting. To me, it's these things, not necessarily Microsoft's mega studio purchases, they need to be more acutely aware of. And really, Sony cannot make those kinds of buys anyways. So there's no point really even debating about whether or not Sony should buy Ubisoft or Take-Two to answer this move. This isn't the battle they can win. And there you have it, everyone. Sony is officially being compared to Blockbuster, a dead company that hasn't done anything, a company that couldn't adapt to the times, something that Sony should fear more than Xbox and more than what any other publisher or company is doing. They shouldn't look and react. They should try to be more aggressive in what they do, not bank on the past to help them. Because the gaming industry isn't about what you did for me, it's about what have you done for me lately. And right now, Sony hasn't done anything for gamers. Last year, they had a massive drought in new games, and this year, they have massive games coming out that will be great. Yet the news cycle is always surrounding Xbox because they're shaking up the industry and doing things we've never seen before. Maybe, just maybe, Sony should start doing things a little differently. Stop raising game prices, stop blocking your ecosystem off, and most of all, invest in your infrastructure to compete with the giant that Xbox has become. Because no matter what, there's one thing I want from these multi-billion-dollar companies. That's competition at the highest level. Right now, Xbox is doing that the best compared to anyone out there. There's no debate, there's nothing that people can say, there's no argument. Xbox is really competing at the highest level this generation. The Series X is at the core of it, PC gaming is at the core of it, and gamers are at the core of it, something I think Sony has lost sight of. But enough of what I think about this, tell me what you think about this. Do you think Sony is afraid of Xbox? Will this acquisition hurt Sony in a few years? Can Sony even respond to something like this? What other studios do you see Xbox buying? Is Sony going to finally open up their platform? Is Xbox being the most aggressive company we've ever seen in gaming? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, just got back from vacation, so I'm jumping back into games. I've been playing Rainbow Six Extraction with my buddies. We've been playing on the PC because it's on Game Pass there. They all got it through Game Pass. We're having a blast with it. I know it got really bad reviews, but I'm actually really enjoying the game. I think it's a lot of fun. I think that a lot of people should just play it for what it is, which is a co-op game that you fight a bunch of aliens, do a couple objectives, upgrade your characters, and just have a good time with it. It's like $40, but since it's on Game Pass, I'm having a blast with it. And I'm going to be jumping into Horizon Zero Dawn before Dying Light 2 comes out because I want to beat that. Because Dying Light 2 comes out, I'm going to play that with my buddies, and then I'm going to jump into Horizon Forbidden West on the PS5 right after that. I really do wish it came out on the PC just like God of War and all the other games did, but hey, I'll play it on the console for now and see what's going on the PS5. But I want to know what everybody else is playing. Let me know what you're playing during the week. Have you been playing a new game that dropped on Game Pass? Are you looking at something else? Are you waiting for something to come out? Let me know down below because that's what we're here for. So talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.